Hello, today we are making gluten-free white bread. In here in my bowl I have 1.5 pounds of gluten-free flour. I have, let me see what I measured out here. I have 24 ounces of milk, and into that there I will be putting a couple of tablespoons of oil. Now for those of you who are dairy free, just change this milk to whatever one you usually use, and it's as simple as that. So I have some of this sieved. I'm just going to continue sieving the last wee bit of it here. Now the oven, I have it already on at 200, because these will be going into the oven for about an hour. And to that there, I am going to make a wee well in the middle here, and I'm going to be adding 2 tablespoons of oil to the milk. Now the thing about gluten-free bread is you don't have to knead it. We will be doing recipes where the bread needs to be kneaded later. Now what we're doing here is we're just going to incorporate this as quickly as we can and get it into the tins. But the thing about gluten-free bread is it's kind of gloopy, and that's due to there being no gluten in the flour. So we'll just bring this all together. I get it to a certain stage, I'll give it a wee whisk with the balloon whisk. It takes a wee minute or two, so don't be panicking too much about it. Because then after this we'll just be pouring it into the tins and straight into the oven. Now I have the 2 pound tin. This recipe will do 2 pound loaves, and I'm going to just go here and get the balloon whisk for a second. Just to bring this all together to make sure that it's all incorporated. Now, a wee quick clean up. And we're just going to pour it into these 2 tins which I've already lined. I'm just going to divide the mix between the 2 of them. As you can see, it's quite gloopy. Just what's left out of the bowl. Divide it between the 2 tins. Now I'm going to change my gloves here. Two seconds will do it. Now the flour that I'm using here today is gluten-free self-raising flour. It is everything in it that you need. You don't need to be adding anything else to it. It's just a matter of adding your liquid to it and go. Now you can add a couple of ounces of sugar to that, but I prefer it without the sugar. So that's just a personal choice, but I'm making this for myself, so I'm going with my own recipe. And that is basically, and that will go into the oven now for an hour. And this is the flour that I am using to bake this. It's self-raising flour, it's Oodlums. It can be quite hard to get, but if you can get it, it's absolutely fantastic. So I'll be back to you very, very shortly once these bake. Now the bread has been in the oven for exactly 1 hour, and this is the finished loaf inside. I have just taken one out of the box here. If we take the second one out, and if you tap the bottom of it like that, you will know that it's ready because it will sound hollow. So I have cut into this and put it on the plate just to let you see how light and fluffy it is. And that's a beautiful gluten-free loaf, and that recipe makes you two 2-pound loaves. So just to recap on that recipe, you have 1.5 pounds of the gluten-free flour. You have 24 fluid ounces, which is 1.25 pints of milk. Now use whatever milk that you use on a normal day, that's perfectly fine, which makes this recipe perfect for dairy-free and celiac. And then you have your 2 tablespoons of oil, and it's in the oven for 1 solid hour. And I had my oven preheated to 200 degrees. I turned it down to 160 and I cooked it for 1 solid hour. Okay, thank you very much.